YouTube, it's Maya here. Welcome back to my channel. Happy summer. And unfortunately, this will be the last video I'm saying happy summer in 2016. Because summer is officially over. That is right, guys. When this video goes up, I will have already gone through 3 days of school. Which is crazy to think about because when I'm recording this video right now, I'm not back in school just yet. So having the fact that when this video actually does go up, I'll already be back is like crazy because I don't want to go back. I really don't. Oh, I don't want to go back. But pushing sadness aside, for this week's video, I thought it'd be a fun idea to end off my back to school series with showing you guys the top 5 things I did this summer. But before we get to this week's video, if you guys haven't seen my face before or this channel, welcome, I'm MayaHennessey and I do weekly Sunday videos here on YouTube. And if you guys like what you're seeing, then please hit that subscribe button. It's free and all it does is notify you whenever I do new videos just like this. Also, if you guys like what you're seeing, then please give this video a big thumbs up because it really helps. And hey, give this video a big thumbs up if you're not ready to get back into the whole school routine thing. Because I'm not. But let's not ramble on anymore and get straight into the video. Also guys, I'm sorry if you hear any background noise. I did not realize that my dad was having like several people over to fix our house. So the first thing I did this summer was, right after school ended and summer was just about to begin, my family and I were planning on going down to our Florida house, but we were not going there for just an ordinary vacation because I've always wanted to learn how to animate because I've always loved drawing and I thought it would be a really fun idea to learn how to animate because maybe I could use it on my channel, and I'm also going to school for animation maybe. So I thought it'd be a great idea to learn how to do some of the basics. So my mom decided to look and she found this amazing school down in Florida that was only like an hour or something away from our Florida house. So while we were down there, my sister and I went to this awesome school for art. My sister went there to do some art basic learning and I decided to do 2D animation, and while I was there I learned so much. I had so much fun, and maybe if you guys want to see what I did, maybe I'll have some examples floating around the screen of some things I did. And my very first animation was a stick figure going from a start line to a finish line, doing some backflips and running and like falling and all those cool parkour stuff that I could never do. Also guys, here's a little sneak peek for what's to come on this channel. Hey YouTube, it's Maya here. Welcome back to my channel. So you better stay tuned because it's coming. Also, when we were in Florida, my sister really wanted to go to Legoland, so after we did all the drawing classes, we went down to Legoland, Florida, and we got to stay in the Legoland hotel, and it was so much fun. We got to go on rides and see a 4D animation spin-off of the Lego movie, and we obviously bought a lot of Lego stuff. And fun fact, we actually went to Legoland, California last Christmas break, so it was really interesting to go to the California one and then go to the Florida one because they're actually very different but so unique and cool in their own way. So it was really cool to kind of see the difference of them. The second fun thing I did this summer was, right after we got back from Florida, it was time for my mom and I to focus on dance because our nationals was coming up very soon. In fact, I actually missed 1 whole week of dance national practice because we were away in Florida, but it was okay because the next week I had dance camp, which means I got my butt back into shape and ready for nationals. So after dance camp, my mom and I headed up to Cape Cod, which is where our nationals was being held at. And actually my mom and my friend's mom got to buy this house down in Cape Cod because we really didn't want to stay in the really crummy hotel that the venue was at. No offense to the hotel, but we had some bad experiences there because our nationals was actually at the same hotel it was last year. So we decided to go to a house instead, which was really cool because it was actually not too far away from the venue. And this was right around the time when I got Pokemon Go. So there was a ton of Pokestops on our way to the venue. So I got a ton of Pokeballs and Pokemon to start off with. So that was really funny. And actually my dance teacher's birthday was right around the time of our nationals, so my mom and my friend's mom thought it would be a really fun idea to throw a huge party with all the dance team members in our little house. It was pretty small, but it wasn't like super small, but it was still a little cramped with like 80 something or more or less people in it, which was probably not the greatest idea in hindsight, but my dance teacher was so surprised. She loved it so much, and it was so much fun to prepare for. But getting back to the dancing, because that was the whole reason why we were there, we actually did very, very well. I actually competed for a title, which is kind of like a pageant for my solo. I didn't win, but I was very happy with my score and the outcome, so that was all good. And even though I didn't win, I did get to perform in this whole little title dance that was separate from everything. Only the titleist performers, aka the soloist performers, could perform in that, and I got to start off the dance, which was really, really cool, and I had so much fun. I absolutely loved the teacher who was choreographing it. She was so nice, and she was actually one of the judges, and fun fact, she gave me the highest score on my solo, and she was so sweet and so nice. I loved her to death. And along with all of that, my dances did very well. We took home a lot of first places in our categories, and fun fact, my tap team was actually selected to perform in our gala night at our nationals. Our nationals holded a huge gala night. If you guys follow my Snapchat or my Instagram, I posted a few pictures of me in my gorgeous dress. Here's some pictures. I'll have them floating around the screen. But we all got to dress up, and it was so much fun, and I got to perform my title dance, and then I had a really fast quick change to my tap number, which did very, very well. We were all having so much fun, and we got to eat a bunch of food, and we had this huge improv challenge night, and it was so much fun. And then the next day after the gala, which was even more fun, my big production group, which was the kind of like spin-off of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which is the first movie we did Harry Potter, it was selected to perform in the judges showcase. And basically the judges showcase was just this huge showcase where some of the dances in the competition were asked to perform again, and the judges would pick a winner, and the winner would receive $1,000, which was so cool. But we all thought we weren't gonna win because it was a very rough performance, but luckily the judges showcase was based off of entertainment purposes, so we won and we got $1,000, which was so cool. Here's a little picture of me holding that ginormous check. It was so much fun, and we were so happy that we won, and we got to take home a bunch of trophies, and it was so cool. Also, what we did at Nationals, since we were in Cape Cod, we obviously had to go to the beach. So funny story, the day before I was supposed to perform my solo as the title, my dance teachers told me that we couldn't go to the beach with a really weird like bathing suit, so it would give us weird tan lines. And I thought the bathing suit I was wearing that day wouldn't give me a bad tan line, but I was wrong. I got super tan while we were there, and here's actually a picture of my bathing suit. I posted it on my Instagram, and as you guys can tell, it has like a little thingamabobber in the back, so it made a really awkward tan line. So the next day we went back to the beach, and I wore more of like a straight line like bathing suit, that way maybe I could get rid of the tan line, and it didn't really go away, so I kind of had this awkward tan line in the back of my back. It wasn't super noticeable from far away, and I'm sure it wasn't really bad when I performed my solo, but it was just so funny because I thought it was gonna go away, but it didn't, and I got super tan, and it was so funny. So if you are a dancer and your dance teacher tells you you cannot wear a weird bathing suit, listen to them, or else you're gonna have to go through what I went through. So the third fun thing I did this summer kind of needs a little backstory. So back in April, while I was at a competition, my friend Sloan contacted me and said that she got in touch with my old friend Christopher that me and Sloan and a few other people were friends with back in kindergarten. And he actually moved out of state a few years after we graduated from kindergarten. So it was really interesting to, you know, get in contact with him again. So she gave me his Snapchat and we started Snapchatting. And so now back to summer, my mom said that she had got in contact with his mom, and so we thought it'd be a really fun idea for me and Sloan to meet up with Chris at a restaurant and just catch up on old times. Yeah, that sounds all fun and games, but it was actually really awkward. Like, Chris, if you're watching this right now, you probably don't know, but me and Sloan were just kind of like so awkward about it because at first, we had no idea what to talk about, and we were kind of talking, and he was talking with his little brother, and we were kind of being like so like pushed away. Like, I felt like there was a huge wall right in front of us, and that we were just like supposed to like break it, but we didn't know how, and it was so awkward. Like, me and Sloan were on our phones, and we were just kind of whispering like, oh, this is so awkward, and he was talking to his brother, and it was very awkward at first. But then we finally broke the ice and it was all uphill from there. So after we finally broke the ice with Chris, we just kept talking and talking more about what we've been doing in the past few years and how life has been down where he's been and what's been going on with us, and we exchanged like numbers and social media and stuff like that. And we really wanted to go to an amusement park that's in our town, but we never ended up going, which is really sad. But now it's too late because he's back in his town and Sloan's already back in school, so it's sad, but hopefully in the future. So hopefully. Speaking of my friend Chris, if you guys want to go check out him a little bit more and see what he does, he actually has his own YouTube channel. He just uploaded a video of him playing basketball and he's really good at it, so I would really appreciate if you guys would go check out his channel and his video. The links will be down in the description box below. Go give him a like, go subscribe to him, and hey, comment on his video that I sent you guys to him. So the fourth thing I did this summer is actually something I've been doing for a very long time. I believe this was like my 6th year at this camp, and so I've been going to this acting camp every single year that's in my state that I absolutely love. I always meet a bunch of awesome friends there and we do plays in 1 week, which I know is crazy to think about, but we do it. But I've noticed in years past that I haven't been getting lead roles because there's always the older kids there who are so incredibly talented and deserve those parts. But now that they're not there anymore and I'm kind of the older kid, I've been getting a lot more parts. So I was there for 3 weeks, which means we did 3 plays, and the 3 plays we did was Willy Wonka, Hairspray, and The Little Mermaid. And so like I said before, I was getting some lead parts. So the first week when we did Willy Wonka, I got Veruca Salt. And then the second week, I didn't get a huge lead part, but I did get the narrator. And then the last week, I got Ursula in The Little Mermaid. I really wanted Sebastian, but after I got Ursula, I was like, this is definitely me. I like this part. So I was really happy. I don't normally always get lead roles in plays that often, so when I did get these lead roles, I was so incredibly happy, and this hasn't happened in such a long time, but now that the older kids aren't there, we kind of have to step up and be those older kids, which means getting a lot of lead parts every once in a while. But I have to say, I do love being in the ensemble. So little funny story, the last week I was there, which was when we were doing The Little Mermaid and I was Ursula, we were dancing to this song called Positivity. If you guys have seen The Little Mermaid on Broadway, then you guys know what song I'm talking about. But basically we were all seagulls and we were supposed to be all klutzy and clumsy and we think we're cool but we're not. So the stage we were on has these stairs that you were going down, and during the dance we were supposed to walk down as if we were so cool even though we weren't. And what happened was I kind of tripped over my foot and I slid down a stair and it was so embarrassing. Here's a clip. It was so funny and all I could do was laugh it off because I didn't know what to do, and it was so embarrassing because my friends were in the audience and everyone on stage just looked at me and I didn't know what to do, and it was so funny. Oh my god. It was so embarrassing, but looking back on it, it was so funny. That was probably the most embarrassing moment on stage that I've ever had. Anyways, I love this camp so much and it was so cool to go this year and finally get some lead roles like I've always wanted. After all, I absolutely love acting and I love singing and I love dancing, so being able to be a lead role was incorporating all those really cool things. So the 5th fun thing I did this summer was I went to New York City. So by the time my acting camp was done, it was already August, which meant the summer was winding down, which was really sad to think about because summer did kind of go by kind of fast this year. But there was one more thing on my agenda for summer that my mom, my sister, and I did. So my sister had never been to New York up until now, so my mom thought it'd be a really fun idea for me, her, and my sister to go to New York for the weekend and just see a few plays and hang out and go do some tours and stuff like that. And obviously you guys know that I am completely obsessed with Hamilton, and my sister is actually kind of into it as well, so we really wanted to go see Hamilton. But since the tickets are so expensive, my mom's just like, nope, not gonna happen. So instead we ended up going to see Finding Neverland, which was awesome. I loved that show very much. I'm very sad it closed, but it is on a national tour, which means it's still running, so that's nice to hear. And if you guys know Broadway, then you know that the Finding Neverland Theater is right across the way from the Richard Rogers Theater, which is home of Hamilton. And even more of an awesome coincidence, my hotel was right next to the Richard Rogers Theater. And I remember the night we went to go see Finding Neverland, we came out of the hotel, I looked to my right, I see the Richard Rogers Theater, and I started crying. I was like, oh my god, it's right there! Mom, it's right there! Like, my mom was in front of me and she was like, I know, it's right there, sweetie, aren't you happy? And I'm like, I was like dying. It was so funny. I was like legitimately crying of tears of joy because it was like, it was right there and I was seeing it in person, and like that was like a once in a life chance thing. Like, I never thought I'd ever see the theater in person, so having it be right next to my hotel was like, heaven mercy, yes! After we went to go see Finding Neverland, we thought it'd be a fun idea to go see another play, so we ended up going to see Aladdin. And guys, if you are ever in New York, I seriously recommend Aladdin. It was amazing. And fun fact, we actually got the tickets to Aladdin the night of the show, and we got amazing seats. Like, we were the 5th row, which means we got to see everything up close. We got to see the actors' reactions, we got to see all the dance moves and everything. It was so colorful and enjoying, and literally every Disney movie that's ever on Broadway is spectacular. So go see it. I seriously recommend it. But obviously you can't be in New York without seeing all of the amazing historical facts and cool monuments that they have. So while we were in New York, we also did the bus tours, and we got to see Uptown and the downtown of New York, and we got to learn so many cool historical facts about it. And we actually saw a lot of cool monuments. I saw the 9/11 Memorial, I saw the Empire State Building, I saw the Plaza Hotel, and we actually went on a little boat ride, and I got to see the Statue of Liberty. And I've never seen any of these things in person before, so it was so cool to experience it all, and we took a lot of pictures. I probably have some pictures floating around the screen right now, but it was so much fun. And here's another funny story. So as I said before, we were on the bus tours. If you've ever been to New York and you've seen those buses go by with the people sitting on the seats in the top that's like there's no roof or anything, that's the bus we were on. And so while we were touring New York, we were on top and we kind of felt a little bit of rain. It wasn't a lot to worry about, but we were like, oh, it's kind of sprinkling. And then all of a sudden I felt this giant drop like fall on top of my head, and I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. And then like 3 seconds later, boom goes the rain. It just poured on us and it was crazy. And since we're not allowed to like get up and move while the bus is traveling, my mom was like yelling, stop the bus, stop the bus. So like we could like go downstairs and like hang down there, that way we wouldn't get like soaked to death. But the driver wouldn't listen, so my mom, my sister, and I ran down the stairs. We were the first ones down there. We didn't get super soaked, but we were definitely wet, which wasn't a fun feeling. And then like 2 minutes later, everyone else followed down because the bus finally stopped, and everyone was soaking wet. And even though we kind of broke the rules and got up while the bus was moving, I'm really happy we did, because by the time the bus stopped and everyone came down, they were all soaking wet. And I was like, I'm just happy I'm not in that state, because we didn't want to get super wet because we had to go on the train ride home and all of our stuff was in our luggage, so we couldn't get changed before we go on the train, and we wouldn't want to sit in soaking wet clothes, so we just ran downstairs not giving a care in the world because we didn't want to get soaked, and I'm glad we did. But along with all the monuments we saw, we got to go to Madame Tussauds, which is the wax museum. We did a lot of shopping, and our hotel had like the perfect view of like the downtown area of New York, so we could see all the busyness and stuff like that, and it was so cool. But yeah, that was my trip to New York. We got to see a lot of cool things, we got to go to cool places, we got to do a bunch of fun stuff, and it was a great way to end off my summer, because by the time we got back from New York, it was time to prepare for school. Well guys, that was this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys enjoyed it, then please give this video a big thumbs up and comment down below what you thought. Also comment down below the day you guys went back to school or when you are going back. Because I go to 2 schools now, they both started on different days. Just my luck. So my official first day back to school was August 31st, which was Wednesday, but my second school started on September 1st, which was Thursday. So if you guys want to go see more behind the scenes of my everyday life, then please go check out my social media links. Links will be down in the description box below. Also check them out because most of these photos I put on Instagram and Snapchat, so you guys will get to see most of the behind the scenes that I do if you follow my social medias, because those who are already following my Snapchat and my Instagram got to see all of the stuff that I said in this video when it was happening. And most of the pictures that were in this video were on my Snapchat stories, so those of you who are following my Snapchat, this was just like a recap to you, honestly. But always remember, guys, when you are in the spotlight, strut your stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Goodbye, summer 2016!